I'm a chess master now, but to be honest, I've done so much incorrect things trying to get to this level, and there was a point in my career where my rating was just stuck at the same level and it was just not going up. It doesn't matter how many games I play, my ratings was just going up and down. And then there was this thing that I did and everything just flipped, and then my ratings just start going up. I've reached to some 26, 2700. And in this video, I'm going to share everything where if I had to start over my chess, exactly how I would learn chess the right way. The first thing I would do, I would focus on the opening principles and the chess fundamentals instead of memorizing a specific opening. Like, if you think about it, all of the openings are fine. Unless you're playing some weird openings like the Bong Cloud or the Cow or any of those openings, just choose an opening that fits your style. I mean, you should know the personality that you have. Choose an aggressive opening or a solid opening, and then just don't focus too much on the specific move. Try to understand the ideas behind the opening and then just play. Because here's the thing, a lot of you guys just get clickbaited on YouTube. You know, you're scrolling on YouTube and then you see a video called "Crush everyone with this opening," or "This opening will win you all of your games." But that's not how it works. And the next thing is, for all the players out there who are just playing the trappy openings, that's actually not going to help you to get good at chess. Like, think about it. What if you memorize one of the traps in the England Gambit that you watched on a video, and then you played a game, and then you got the trap, and then you won the game? The only thing that you're going to get from that is rating points. You're not going to get stronger. You should focus on things in chess that helps you to get stronger. And that's the reason why a lot of people and a lot of my students, they go on streaks. Like, they win some games because they learn this opening, and you know, the first few games maybe you win some games, but then you will lose a lot of games from the line. You're going to be going on a lot of win streaks and then a lot of losing streaks, and because of that, your rating is going to look like this. It's going to go up, you're going to feel good about yourself, but then it's going to go down, and eventually your rating is just going to be stuck at the same level. Don't do that. There's 3 important things that you need to do to get better at chess. This is what I tell my students. 3 things. You want to play chess, you know, which is self-explanatory, and we're going to be talking about this deeply as we go along. When it comes to playing chess, I usually recommend playing longer time control, because you don't want to be, a lot of persons, they do it backwards. It's like you just started out chess and you started by playing blitz games. You're not going to be learning anything by playing fast-paced games. You're only going to get addicted to playing a lot of games, and it's not going to be this dopamine thing where, okay, you just want to win a quick game, sack a piece, shuffle around the pieces, gain some quick rating points, but then your chess skills stays at the same level. With that being said, play chess, play longer games. Do not play too much games. Play like 3 to 4 games per day. Take them seriously, and then after you play those 3 to 4 longer games, that's when you can start playing blitz games. Because I'm not going to tell anybody to not play blitz or bullet, because I'm not trying to turn you guys into robots. Like, have fun, but if you're trying to get better at chess, you have to lock in and just play longer games. The other important thing that you want to do after playing is you want to learn. Now, a lot of persons get this wrong, because when you're learning, especially when you go on YouTube and you're trying to learn something, you're just doing this. You know, you're just watching. You don't just learn anything from just watching like this, which is why whenever you watch my videos, I try to leave notes on the screen, and you should try to guess my moves and use your brain. If you're just watching something like this, you don't really use your brain, you know, you're just relaxing. And then with that being said, the right way to do it is, you know, pause the videos, guess what the player is doing, and then if you guess what the player is doing and it was not the move that you thought about, that's when you should compare your thinking to their thinking, in this case mine, and then figure out where did you go wrong. So you're playing chess, you're learning chess, and you're training chess. This one is important, and a lot of persons don't do it. Now, when it comes to training, it basically means solving. You need to be solving something. You need to be looking on the chessboard and trying to figure out something. Solve tactics. We're going to be diving deeper into this as we go along. The types of tactics that I recommend that you solve is, after you play your games, check where you went wrong. If you notice that you're missing a lot of discovered attacks or you're missing a lot of pins, then go to the custom feature on chess.com and then do a bunch of pins or do a bunch of discovered attacks, if that's the one that you're struggling with. So how I would help a student is I look on their game, and if I notice that this is the specific type of tactic that they're struggling with, then I give them a bunch of that tactic and I say, do a bunch of that tactic. And then they fix it, their ratings go up, we find the next problem, and then we do it like that. Another thing that I would do if I had to start over is I would spend more time studying a specific topic. Now, this is the framework that I want you to keep in mind. I'm going to tell you the wrong way to do it, and then I'm going to tell you the right way to do it, and then how you can implement it in your training regimen. So for example, what if you're trying to learn openings, middle games, end games, calculation, strategy? The wrong way to do it is to try to learn all of it at the same time. So maybe you think you're smart and you're like, okay, I'm going to do 1 hour of opening and then 1 hour of middle game and then 1 hour of end game and then 1 hour of strategy. That's not how it works, bro. The right way to do it is like, I'm going to spend the entire day and work on my middle game. And then the next day, I'm going to spend the entire game and work on my end game. And then I'm going to spend the entire day and work on my openings. That's how you want to do it. Even better is I'm going to spend the entire week and learn a topic. And then after I finish learning the topic and I really understand it, the other entire week, I learn another topic. So basically, the longer you focus on just one thing and really try to get better at it, that's how your chess is gonna improve. Another thing that persons do backward, and it's crazy, it's like, you try to get better at chess like this. You study opening, middle game, end game. That's not how you should do it. You should study end game, middle game, openings. But a lot of persons going to be commenting on this video like, no bro, that's not how it works. How are you going to get to the end game if you don't come out of the opening? You have to pass the middle game. That's not how it works. I watched a video with Maurice Ashley on TED Talk, and he called it the retrograde analysis. It's like, how are you going to know the position that you're trying to get to if you haven't seen positions like those already? If you haven't trained positions like those already? Because keep in mind, if you improve your endgame skills, you're also improving your general strategic understanding of chess. Now, there's two things about the endgames that you want to train. You want to ensure that you train your theoretical endgame, and you also want to ensure that you train endgame planning. Now, when we talk about theoretical endgame, ensure that you do a lot of rook endings, the Lucina position, the Vancouver position, the Philadelphia position. You also need to do some king and pawn endgame as well. So that way, once you're ahead by a pawn, you just bring someone the endgame and beat them. When we talk about endgame planning, this is when we talk about attacking weak pawns, pushing past pawns, activating the king, cutting off the king, rook belong behind past pawns, the whole nine. Another thing that I would do if I had to start over, I would train my intuition. I would start slow, then I would go progressively faster. And again, a lot of you guys have this backwards because you start playing chess by playing fast-paced games, and then now you're like, okay, I don't want to be stuck playing 400 level blitz anymore, so let me start playing some long games. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't get myself to sit and play long games, and that's because you do everything backward. With that being said, here's what I do with a student. I give one of them 50 exercises, and I'm like, okay, how long will it take to complete 50 exercises? It would take them like a month. The same 50 exercises, I would have them do that in 2 weeks. And then I would have them do the same 50 exercises again in 1 week, then 3 days. And then all those 50 exercises that took them an entire month to do, now they're doing it in only 1 day. When you're solving your exercises and you're training your calculation, ensure that you use the Dorfman method to do this. So first you want to ensure that you evaluate the position, choose the candidate move, and then you calculate the position. Don't be like one of those guys who are like, okay, I want to do 100 puzzles per day. Nah, instead of setting the amount of puzzles that you want to do, just set the amount of time that you want to spend on a puzzle, because you have to ensure that you get all of them right. You want to be doing puzzles where you're getting like 75 to 80%. If you're getting everything correct, it's too easy. If you're getting everything incorrect, then it's too hard. With that being said, you should think about the move that you would like to play, then think about the opponent's reaction to that move and exactly how you're going to be responding to that move the opponent played. This could go on and on, and that's why you should be spending a lot of time on your calculation skills. Here's another problem that you have. You're one of these persons who, you play a game, you don't even check your mistakes. You don't even analyze your games. you just immediately jump into the next game. If you're someone who is playing like that, you just play a game and then you play the next game and then you play the next game without analyzing your games, then you're not necessarily trying to get better at chess. You're just trying to win. And that's a huge difference. When it comes to analyzing your games, you don't necessarily want to just check the engine and be like, okay, what was the best move here? Oh, that was the best move. Okay, that's what I'm gonna play. That's not how you wanna do it, because maybe you're not even gonna see that move again. How you wanna do it is, you wanna see the mistake that you make, and then you want to keep in mind, what were you thinking that made you make that mistake? And then you're gonna be comparing that thought process to the Dorfman method, so that way you could see where the cracks are in your thought process. That's how you analyze your games. And you don't necessarily have to see everything in the game. If you could learn 2 or 3 things from your game, that's good enough. First of all, we need to talk. Like, are we trying to get better at chess, or you're just addicted to chess? And if you're one of these persons who has the characteristics of what I'm about to talk about, then you're just addicted to chess and you need to stop. If you're someone who find yourself late at 2 a.m. in the night playing chess, you're addicted. If you're saying anything along the lines of one more game, last game, I need to gain back my ELO before I sleep, can't end on a loss, then you're addicted, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm also addicted to chess, but I'm a chess master. Only chess masters are allowed to be addicted to chess. You don't want to be addicted to playing 400 ELO chess. That's not how it works. Because playing chess on tilt is just the formula to lose all your ELO. And I want you to keep in mind, I have a student who is a brain specialist, and here's what we found. The same neurons in your brain that drive addiction in a casino, those same neurons can be activated when you're playing chess. And again, I'm not trying to turn you guys into robots. The goal is to play blitz and bullet. But first, you have to lock in, play some longer games, train your brain to have some patience. Because you have to keep in mind, chess teaches you a lot of other stuff about life. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lock in, we're gonna play some longer games for, let's say, 2 months. And again, it doesn't mean that you're gonna stop playing blitz and bullet, but ensure that you're incorporating longer games, so that way you could stop playing 400 level blitz and bullet and raise it up to at least be playing 1500 level blitz and bullet. It's not fun playing 400 ELO blitz and bullet. And if you think you're working on your chess by just only watching YouTube videos and playing games without analyzing them, then you're not working on your chess. You're just wasting time. And to know if you're wasting time, just check the last 2 months, check to see how much ratings you went up by, and if it haven't gone up or if it had gone down, then you're wasting your time and you need to do something different. So at least when you're watching content, do it the right way. We're trying to aim for active learning over passive learning. Try to guess my moves on the screen. Don't just watch it. And a good way to know if you're only learning passively is if you watch a YouTube video, you're like, okay, this is very interesting, I'm learning a lot, but then you immediately go play some chess, and then as soon as you start playing chess, you're just losing a bunch of games. What does that say? You didn't learn anything because you were just watching something. Another thing that I would do is this. I would go through the games of someone I admire. Let's say I'm someone that you look up to and you like the Italian game. What I would do, I would check to see how I play the Italian game, and then I would try to guess the moves that I'm playing. And I'm going to be using the same amount of time. I'm not just going to click through the game like this. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's what you do. I'm going to try it in my game. No, you have to ensure that you try to simulate a real game scenario. So while you're guessing the move, spend a good 2 to 3 minutes per move and use the Dorfman method to find these moves. That's going to help you to get better at chess. And keep in mind, you can win a lot more games just by reducing your blunders. And I know this sounds weird, it's like telling someone, if you want to get rich, just make more money. But here's what I'm saying. Instead of trying to force wins, learn the fundamentals of chess. Develop your pieces, improve your position. At the 0 to 800 ELO, people literally just hang their pieces. So if you're just improving your position and not hanging your pieces, you're gonna win a lot of games. And then once you start crossing that range, now you have to think about drawback blunders. It's like, you don't want to be making your move, and then as soon as you make your move, you're like, oh, I forgot that my piece was guarding something else. You have to keep those ideas in mind. And another huge thing that Almost every student who I work with, they always say, I'm okay in the opening stage of the game, but the moment I go to the middle game, I just don't know what to do. And then because I don't know what to do, I just blunder. If this is you, then you need to ensure that you work on your planning abilities. You have to know how to formulate a plan. With that being said, planning in chess has a lot to do with pawns. Think about pawn breaks, pawn storms, pawn weakness. A weakness in chess is a pawn or square that cannot be guarded by another pawn. So if you're able to identify a backward pawn, isolated pawn, double pawns, pawn chains, anything to do with pawns, then you should be good when it comes to formulating a plan after the opening stage of the game. Now, because you watched the video this far, I'm going to be leaving you with a very nice secret to skyrocket how you play the opening. Now, you could use this with any opening, by the way, but let's say it's the Italian game. Here's what I usually do. I would put the Italian game in Stockfish, and then I would play against Stockfish and allow Stockfish to play the Italian game against me. Now, obviously, I'm going to get crushed because Stockfish is at the 3000 level, but now I'm going to be using the plans that Stockfish use against me, and then I'm going to be trying those in my games. I've won tournaments doing this. There's this book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and here's what it says. If you don't know yourself or don't know your enemy, you're going to be losing all your games. If you know yourself, you're going to be winning 50% of your games. If you know yourself and know the enemy, you're going to be winning a lot of your games. I've read that book over 4 times. I really hope this video had an impact on you. And if you want to learn how to always find the best move, watch this video.